Alright, so I don't care what she says on her video, she definitely made me go vegan. Don't listen to her. Hey guys, yeah, that was just a joke. Obviously, Jamie didn't make me go vegan. And that's what this video is about. This video is all about how she inspired me to go vegan. She helped me go vegan, but no, she didn't make me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how that process went. And obviously she's got a video on her channel, which I just alluded to in the intro there. So go check it out. Kind of from her perspective, how she helped me go vegan. And so now I'm kind of telling it from my side. I've talked about this a little bit before, but it's always good to have a little bit of a fresh perspective, especially now that it's Veganuary. And a lot of people in the new year are trying out, maybe a new diet and they're looking at it from a health standpoint or whatever it may be. In any case, here is the story of how I went vegan with the help of my girlfriend who went vegan before I did, and just kind of how that whole process went. Alright, so one of the first obstacles, obviously, that we would have come across was we'd been in a long-term relationship at this point in time. So for one of the partners to make such a significant move in their life, such a significant change, it can definitely make it difficult if the other person isn't really in sync anymore. So Jamie was really, really patient with me. That was one of the things that I really appreciated as well. And I know she talked about this as kind of a focal point of her video on her channel, but it really was a huge aspect of it. Looking back now, obviously, with better, vision as to the whole vegan thing, I have nothing but respect for anybody who is able to be patient, because it's a tough subject, obviously. I'm a very passionate vegan, and it's tough to have patience with people when they say things out of ignorance or even out of arrogance, which in my case it would have been, because I was the kind of guy who would eat meat and, mock vegetarians, and, for 30 years of my life was a huge meat eater. So, in fact, I remember, not with meat, but with milk, I remember, growing up and being a teenager, and my dad being so pissed because, I'd drink 4 liters of milk a day, I just loved it. So I'd guzzle it down, and he'd be like, "John, this shit's not, cheap." So it's just kind of one of those things, to put it into perspective a little bit. I was a huge meat, dairy, egg, everything eater, and so it was really good that Jamie had patience with me, because, hey, I'll be the first to admit, although I've made significant improvements, I used to have a very big ego, and I think that just a forceful in-my-face kind of approach would not have worked. I would have shut that down immediately, and I probably wouldn't be vegan today. So that was a huge help. So if you have a partner who you think, this is going to take some time, stay patient. I'm the last person in the world I thought would be vegan, and look at me today. So there's that. So another really, really good type of kind of activism that Jamie took with me, and I at the time didn't even really realize that it was happening, although I kind of did, but leading by example is such a powerful, powerful way to get people to see that, something can be normal, something can be absolutely okay to do. And I think that, overall, our society has changed in many different ways as a result of just things being normalized, things that were acceptable no longer being acceptable, or vice versa. So, leading by example, I know that Jamie used to make me all kinds of just really good meals, things that I would like the meat version of. She would try to make it in a vegan version. I remember just having so many different pasta meals that I would like, or I remember she even made me vegan donaires, which was huge, because that was one of the things I absolutely loved. And just veggie burgers, all the faux meats that you could just easily make a sandwich, all the just everyday stuff. Having a vegan option for was oh, well, this is easy. So leading by example and eating good food and making the foods that I liked in a vegan version was huge for me. Some things I liked, some things I didn't really like, but we tried those things, and I did recognize that she was being patient with me. She was trying to show me things, and I wanted to learn about it. So if I did find something that I didn't really like, I was just upfront and honest, like, I don't want to have that again. I'm sure that she probably mentioned it in her video about these sausages that we tried once, and it was like, oh my god, these are horrible. It was a bad experience. I did not like it at all, but I didn't shut down and shy away from veganism because I had one bad experience. So yeah, leading by example was huge for sure. And when you have somebody that is doing almost all of the cooking, or well, at that point in time, probably all of the cooking, let's be honest here, really, if someone was going to make my meal for me, why would I be like, no, this is gross, or I don't want to try that, I'll make my own meal? Like, you know what, I'll play the lazy man card here, and I'm not saying that every guy's like this, but I certainly was, and I'll admit it. If I was sitting in the basement playing Xbox and Jamie said, hey, dinner's ready, and it was something vegan, I was going to give that a try before I was ever like, no, I'll cook my own damn supper. So, it's just the way that it was. So it did make it really easy on me to, try different things and try different alternatives. It was kind of a good way to take advantage of my laziness in that sense. But no, it was pretty good. So yeah, just trying new things came kind of naturally because she was able to try to like veganize things that I already liked. With all the different faux meats and stuff, that was really easy to do, but then also trying different dishes that maybe I wouldn't have normally tried, like different kinds of salads, or maybe a few different vegetables or different ingredients that I wouldn't have normally tried. But I ate like a lot of the same food growing up, and a lot of really basic food. So I wasn't exposed to a lot of extravagant recipes or a lot of different foods. So, I had what I liked and I knew what I liked. I was a meat and potatoes kind of guy, throw some cheese on there and you're good to go. But it was good to kind of branch out. So it was exciting in that same way. It was one of those things where I definitely felt like throughout the entire process of kind of transitioning from being a heavy meat eater into like maybe eating meat every now and then into like, okay, basically I'm never going to eat meat anymore. At no point in time did I ever really feel pressured. Looking back now, like I kind of mentioned before, like I realize how tough that probably was. And like I 100%, and I've said this to Jamie before, like I 100% would understand now from this perspective, from this point of view as a vegan, understand if she would have been like, you know what, I can't anymore, and would have had to move on and end the relationship. Like as tough as that is, and I probably wouldn't have understood because I wouldn't have been vegan and so therefore wouldn't have had this perspective, seeing it now I can definitely see like that's probably something that could potentially happen in some cases. But if you're patient with each other, you're just honest with each other, and you know your partner better than anybody probably, so it's a good way to like kind of, I don't know, just kind of know their strengths, know their weaknesses, and you've got a chance of success. Because if I'm vegan, anybody can be vegan. It seems to be the theme here. Like me, I still sometimes don't believe it. Like obviously I know I'm vegan and I'll never like not be, but it's just still sometimes I wake up and I'm like, holy shit, like I'm vegan. Like how did that happen? But as a result of these kinds of methods. So Jamie was also really supportive of me, not in like a, kind of like a overly in-your-face sort of way, like, oh, good job, pat you on the back sort of deal, like not in a condescending or patronizing kind of way, but like I could tell that she really did appreciate if I was trying things, or, if I made the decision to like pass on an animal ingredient. I could tell that she was really grateful for those moments and that she really did appreciate and was supportive of those changes. So by her expressing that and letting it known that she really did appreciate, my willingness to at least try different things or make certain changes, that was nice, because like I said, we had been in a long-term relationship before this, so obviously I want to please my partner. I mean, I'm in a relationship with a girl for 8 or 9 years or whatever it is. I mean, obviously I don't want to upset her. I want to, do right by the relationship. So it's kind of nice just knowing that she had my back and knowing that she was there to, answer questions I might have had, or just, just kind of go with that flow. It was okay if I did mess up. It was okay if I didn't like something, but also knowing that she was there to not congratulate, but you know what I mean, just be supportive if I did make a change and make a positive thing. And because of that, I decided that I was just going to stop eating meat around her altogether. And I think she probably mentions this in her video, but I know that one of the times that really stand out was we went for something to eat. We went out to eat, and I decided to get a veggie option. And then from that point forward, I just always get the veggie option. I couldn't in good conscience just sit there a foot away or 2 feet away and just eat meat in front of her, knowing that it was something that was so important to her. We had lots of just open, honest conversations, a lot of educational and informative conversations about the topic. So I knew her stance on the ethics, I knew the environmental impacts, and I knew just everything that went into her decision to stop eating meat. So how could I just sit there and do it in front of her? So if you are in a relationship, if you're the one who has not yet given up animal products, and maybe we're talking vegetarianism, maybe we're talking veganism, but if you are someone who is still kind of the last to kind of come through, I really, really think it's a good idea to at least not eat those foods or be in a situation where you demand eating those foods in front of your partner who is trying to give these things up and have made, an ethical connection, or, a connection with the impact that this has on the environment. And, it's just kind of common courtesy. So I definitely implore anybody to just kind of follow that same general rule of thumb. Of course, you can do what you want, but I think just having mutual respect for one another is the biggest thing. Like I said earlier on, I was very ego-driven, very I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to stop eating meat. I am never going to be a vegan. I used to make fun of vegans. I used to make fun of vegetarians. I used to own a shirt that said, what was it? Being a vegetarian is a big mistake. Ha, that's so funny. I see that stuff now, and it kind of makes me want to punch somebody, because it's so arrogant. It's not just ignorant, it's arrogant as hell. And that was me. So if anybody can do it, or if I can do it, anybody can, is what I'm trying to say. So that's kind of how it all went down. She was just very supportive, made it easy on me. I didn't have to do a lot, really, just try new things, and hey, here we are today. So anyway, that's kind of the story, the rough draft of how I went vegan, and how Jamie inspired me. She didn't make me go vegan, but she definitely helped make me vegan, if that makes any sense. It was a good situation for sure. So that's the story, kind of how that went, and how, in a relationship, especially in a long-term relationship, things can be a little bit tricky, but you navigate around those things, and you have a lot of patience, and you just never know what the result could be. So I'd be interested to know what your guys' situation is, if your significant other is vegan, or you are vegan and they're not, or whoever it is, however it works in your household, how you deal with those things, or maybe if you've had some success either with someone in your family or a friend. And I just also want to point out as well that I definitely want to be there for anybody who's willing to make any changes at all. There's a lot of debate between incremental change or going vegan overnight. I can't turn my back on a philosophy that worked for me. I tried and I developed into veganism over a very long period of time. Not a very long, it was over a year probably. So it took me a while, so I can't really like shame anybody that it takes a while, even though now I'm very passionate about veganism. But if anybody has any questions, needs any information, always feel free to reach out to me, whether it's on my page or whether it's here on YouTube, and I'll be more than happy to help. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Hopefully this is helpful for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.